homeschooling is where we're all going to have to be anyway for those who have children. Just as a side note. Last topic I'm going to go over really quick is dealing with not only social media, but the government's invasion of your privacy right now. Now, this is something that I had to go into really quick only because I'm noticing a pattern, and I'm noticing a pattern dealing with the shade room. I'm noticing a pattern dealing with the constant circulation of privacy and how privacy, not just privacy, but the specific types of things that are being circulated so flagrantly, so frequently. The relationships between people, the marriages between people, the fights between people, people being shot, people being murdered, people being stalked, all these things. I'm noticing what's being promoted and what's being put out there. Let me say this really quick. Seriously. Stop being a whore for likes and views. Do not be a whore for likes and views. Please know I love y'all. So I'm going to speak very clear, but I'm going to be very real with you. Do not be a junkie. Don't be a crackhead for likes. Don't be a heroin addict for views. Don't get hooked on this. Don't become strung out on social media. Do not. And I recommend what you do is take time to back off of social media, because they're about to come out with something that is far more invasive than you can ever imagine. Everything is going digital. Everything is going digital. So what they're doing now, if you haven't noticed, for example, there's a documentary called Social Dilemma. Now, Social Dilemma came out this year, 2020. I'm thankful they came out with that because I needed a specific documentary to cite or reference that people can go watch to reflect what it is that I put in my book in chapter 2. Now, my book I released last year. Okay, chapter 2. This is the only book that I know of that goes over social media extensively. Chapter 2. Link in the bio, link in the bio, link in the bio. Now, this book, link in the bio, is the only one that I know that covers social media extensively. Now, this came out long before this documentary called Social Dilemma was released this year. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because everything they are doing has been calculated, and it has been calculated exactly how I wrote in the book because of the research that I have done and others have done. Everything they're doing is so fine-tuned and calculated to the T. Everything they're doing. When I say it is so wicked and so diabolical and crazy, you have to be mindful that everything that you see, everything that you're watching, how you're scrolling, how long you are pausing, what you're liking, when you're talking around your phone is recorded, is calculated. Everything. Everything. I'm about to get off of here in about 10 minutes. Give me 10 minutes, family, because I know some of y'all about to go to sleep. Give me 10 more minutes and I'm off. Everything. Okay. 10 minutes. Give me 10 minutes. The USA Patriot Act. Somebody remember 9/11? Anybody? Anybody remember 9/11? Let me know. Do you remember 9/11? 9/11. Twin Tower bombing. 9/11. September the 11th, 2001. The greatest lies ever created. Lies, not the part about people dying, nearly 3,000. That is true. The lies that Muslims did it, 19 hijackers, all of a sudden with box cutters, flew planes into these two buildings, and boom, we have a war on terror, aka Islam, and America justifies an entire war, killing well over 50 million Muslims for no reason. All in the name of democracy, when it was actually in the name of taking oil and diamonds and gold and taking over the regimes of foreign countries. It was all a lie. But the Patriot Act was used and utilized for something far deeper, far greater, far more sinister, far more wicked. Let me read to you really quick what the USA Patriot Act stands for. This is a full acronym. USA Patriot Act is a full acronym. It is not USA Patriot Act. Each letter stands for something. So let me go ahead, if you don't mind. This is in my book. Link in the bio, link in the bio, link in the bio. This came out before the documentary Social Dilemma. What is the USA Patriot Act? Acronym: Uniting and Strengthening America by providing appropriate tools required to intercept and obstruct Terrorism Act of 2001. Let me read this one more time. This is the USA Patriot Act. Now, I'm going into something because social media would not have been what it is today if it were not for the USA Patriot Act. It was the USA Patriot Act that ignited what now is social media and where it is. But the Patriot Act had to come out in order for this to become possible. What is the USA Patriot Act? Acronym. Each letter in USA Patriot Act is a word. Uniting, strengthening America. USA. Uniting and strengthening America by providing appropriate tools required to intercept and obstruct Terrorism Act of 2001. USA Patriot Act. Now, once the USA Patriot Act came out, that is when they started to do the sneak peek searches of your homes. This is when they started to violate the Fifth Amendment of the United States Constitution, I believe, the right to privacy. This is when they started to invade everything. This is when they started to do more recording of everything. They started to record every phone call, every email, every text message, every DM now. This is before Instagram was created. I believe Instagram came out in 2010. Patriot Act came out in 2001, 9 years prior. They started to record every single thing. Now, in America, be very mindful here. Do you know who these two men are? These two men here, Glenn Greenwald and Edward Snowden. Yes, I referenced them in the book as well. This very deep information, link in the bio, link in the bio, link in the bio. Now, Glenn Greenwald was having a conversation, and they were talking about how America records everything, how this government, the NSA in particular, records everything, every phone call, every text message, every email. Now it's every DM, it's every single thing, everything you post, everything public and private. Let me make it very clear to you. In my book on page 26, chapter 2, dealing with social media, it says, so for instance, if you're collecting, as the National Security Agency or NSA is, 1.9 billion emails and telephone calls every single day, and close to 25 billion emails and telephone calls from around the world every single day. The problem that you have is that you're collecting so much that you can't even actually store the data effectively, which is why they're rebuilding, they're building a massive facility in Bluffdale, Utah. Have you ever heard of the data center in Bluffdale, Utah? The NSA data center in Bluffdale, Utah. This is the building. It's a huge building that is built in Bluffdale, Utah. It is basically one large supercomputer where people work, and what they do is they are collecting information every single day. Every phone call, every text message, every email, every DM, every post, everything that you can perceive that goes through your cell phone, through your tablet, through your computer, all of it. Smart TVs, smart this, smart that, smart dryers now, smart refrigerators now. Everything has a computer chip. Everything is becoming digital. Be very mindful again. 2001, USA Patriot Act, 9/11, boom, boom, justifies the invasion of everyone's privacy to cover domestic terrorists as well as foreign and domestic, all based off of a lie. But the successful thing that they did was they destroyed the Constitution, destroyed the Fifth Amendment, the right to privacy. Now they have the ability, and have had the ability since 2001 completely, to invade everything. Now, the reason why I bring this up is because the psychological game and the psychological maneuver that is being conducted on everybody in America right now is giving you the freedom of promoting all of your own business willingly. Psychologically, when you have someone ask you a question like this, what's on your mind? That's a very now this is a movie, it's a fight movie, ain't nothing going on. But that is a very psychological question. It is a question that brings down the faculties mentally. It is a question that invades the mind and that allows a person to invade into your subconscious. It is a very, 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 very wicked thing. The only reason why I'm bringing this up is because that's how it started with Facebook. What's on your mind? Then we post everything. We post what we're eating. Damn, man. We post what we're drinking. We post where we live. We post our school. We post our job. We post all of our family. We post our favorite color, our favorite this, our favorite. We post everything. And the sad thing is, you think that once you post something and delete it, that it's gone. You can't delete anything from the internet. You can delete it from you being able to see it and the average person being able to see it. But it's never deleted. And what's sad about this is everything, if you look at the terms and conditions when it comes to Facebook, everything that is posted can and will be used against you in the court of law, number one. Number two, Instagram was acquired by Facebook for a couple $1 billion. And psychologists are the largest staff members when it comes to the CIA, NSA, etc. And on social media, they have a large amount of psychologists who work behind these computers, managing and strategizing and calculating the behaviors of us. How we post, when we scroll, what we're liking. This is why I tell people, stop liking posts. Stop visiting the same pages all the damn time. Be careful of what you even click on to view, even if you don't like it. When you give that person a view, when you click on it to hear the audio, when you tap the screen to hear the audio, that's recorded. Everything that we're doing is being recorded, and they are controlling our pattern and they're maneuvering our behavior. You start talking about certain things next to your phone. You start talking about the chicken from KFC. Next thing you know, an ad pops up from KFC. They suggest it for you. That should help you understand, one, how powerful the microphones are on this thing, first of all. And two, how quick they process data. Now, some of y'all are like, okay, Rizza, what the hell are you saying? What I'm saying is, do not volunteer everything to the government. It doesn't mean that we're criminals, but you might want to understand that with everything going digital, that means everything is going digital. The entire vaccine system, like for those who are going into cryptocurrency, for those who talk about the stock market, for those who talk about money, for instance, a lot of people are like, yeah, I'm ready for the stock market to crash. Okay. You can get as ready as you possibly can try to become ready, as much as you can. You have to have assets outside of the country. You have to have physical assets. You must have gold. You must have silver. You must have these things. Then you must have a certain amount of digital currency. Then you must have certain assets outside of this country. The microchip that are going to be placed in the new vaccines will be connected to your ID, will be connected to your driver's license history, will be connected to your spending habits, as well as everything else that you can imagine, your credit score, your entire health record, what your allergies are. All of this is being connected in a digital form. Not just the RFID chip, not just that alone. You have the radio frequency ID or radio frequency identification chip. Then you have the vaccine tracking system. Then you have the digital currency, and all of this is being combined. Just be mindful here. The beta testing, the testing before the actual activation is what is going on now. So everything that you're seeing, everything that you're watching, when you're liking things, you're posting this, you're showing every part of your life. Everybody's laughing about it. You get involved in all of these ways, these subtle ways of indoctrinating you and breaking down your mental faculties, giving up your rights, giving up your rights, giving up your rights. You're easily going to be able to walk right into the next one, which is digital everything. Removing your paper money, removing any other type of assets, and then giving you the digital chip, giving you the digital wallet, the digital this, the digital that. That way they can control it all because it's digital. And the moment you decide to step out of line, they just turn your chip off and you become irrelevant. You're broke. You don't exist in the system. Why? Because you stepped out of line. We turn your chip off. because it's all digital. Now, what I'm saying is not conjecture. What I'm saying is not conspiracy theory. What I'm saying is actual fact. And the reason why I'm slightly irritated is because I'm watching this crap play out. I'm watching it play out. I put it in the book before the documentary came out. Again, link in the bio, link in the bio. But not only that, I'm watching our people at high levels become comfortable with your life being invaded. Oh, yes, there's a documentary called Black Mirror that I heard about. I didn't even watch it. Somebody mentioned that to me. I said, oh, yeah, but I saw this stuff has been, I mean, the movie Minority Report, the movie The Matrix, it's been happening for a long time. By the way, The Matrix was created by a black woman, and two Jewish white men stole the information of The Matrix from a black woman. She also wrote The Terminator 1, 2, 3, and 4. She wrote all of the Matrix movies, and she got all of her money from that. It took about 20 years in order for her to win that case. Just a side note. But the point is, be careful. Be very confident about yourself. Do not go to social media to get validation. Do not go to social media to get likes and views and to be have your ego stroked and to feel good about what you post. And depending on how many likes you get, you'll feel better. If your likes are really low, views are low, you don't feel as good. You are being experimented on. Thank you, Sophia Stewart. That's right, little mama. Thank you. You're being experimented on mentally. Take time away from social media. Spend less time on it. Some of us use it for business and helping our people, etc. But outside of that, take time to back up. Get back to real life, get back to the people, get back to talking to people, getting around people, because they're taking that away. With the new COVID system, and this is where I'm going to end this, with the new COVID system and the new COVID vaccine system, what they're pushing to do is to not only make everything completely digital, but they're pushing to separate people from congregating or coming together in close proximity or coming together in groups. Completely. They want everyone to be separate, period. Everyone to be separated, period. Now, again, I'm not saying this is stuff I've been talking about long before the documentaries. Some of these documentaries came out long before the system came out, long before. This is not new. I'm not the only one that's been talking about it. Plenty of people have been talking about this for years. What I'm looking at is that I put it in my book, and then a documentary comes out maybe 5 months later. Someone asked me what the name of my book is. It is Message to the Millennials. Message to the Millennials. Link in the bio. It's not a good thing to be right about negative things. I don't like being right about negative things, and I really wish that we would pay attention a lot more. It's up to us now, because this generation cannot repeat the negatives of our past, of our ancestors, of anybody else. We don't have the time. We don't have the luxury. We don't have the room to duplicate the nonsense. What they're coming out with and what they're doing now is very, very strategic. So be careful of how you use social media. Be careful. Get back to your family, get back to nature, get back to being around people, real people. Talk about things on a higher level. Get off the nonsense. Get off of the talk about this nonsense. Stop allowing your life to be dictated by what you see on social media. Stop letting people following you, unfollowing you, affect your self-esteem. Stop allowing certain likes or views or the lack thereof to affect how you feel about yourself, how you feel about the people around you. I'm watching what this is doing and how psychologically surgically precise it really is. And it's scary, man. I'm fine, but I'm looking at how it's affecting our people. I'm looking at how it's affecting y'all every day. And it's crazy. You got people wanting to commit suicide because of how many views, likes, comments, follows, or the lack thereof in all these areas that they are receiving. And it's demonstrating that the psychological warfare is working. So be careful. That's all I'm saying. Just be careful, because what's coming next is going to be far more diabolical. That's all I'm telling y'all. Seriously, get your mind back, get your self-validation back, get back to God, get back to real people. Start to do it that way. And we should be perfectly fine, but we really got to get back to that. Would it be more beneficial for our culture to combine the thoughts of Dr. King and Brother Malcolm? Of course. Of course. The ultimate solution is to separate and us to do things for ourselves. Separate into our own everything, our own systems, our own schools, our own grocery stores, our own banks, our own everything. We must have our own everything. We will have our own everything because we're going to do it whether if we like it or not. There is no choice. We have no other choice. Literally. We're being forced to do that. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, you must do for self or suffer the consequences. I'm tired of us suffering consequences because we lack listening to proper right guidance on simple things. I'm tired of suffering these consequences. I'm not about to duplicate nonsense. I'm not about to sit here and do the same stupid things that we continue to do. No, we will pay attention to what our ancestors were saying. We will pay attention to what all of our great leaders were telling us to do. We will do that. I know I'm going to do my part, and we all should do our part as well. Everybody should.